السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. بسم الله والحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله. Welcome back to our series on the Prophet ﷺ, and inshallah today we'll be starting with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's assurance that he sees the Prophet ﷺ. And we see this in a couple of places in the Quran, and this is similar to how in Surah Taha Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells Musa alayhi salam and Harun alayhi salam, Innani ma'akuma asma'u wa ara. So indeed I am with you, I see you and hear you. And when we think about the attributes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, about him being al-Basir and as-Sami, the all-seeing and the all-hearing, this is something that it should be reassuring for us that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sees us and that he is watchful over his ibad. And so we see the first ayah from the end of Surah Tur, وَاسْبِرْ لِحُكْمِ رَبِّكَ فَإِنَّكَ بِأَعْيُنِنَا وَسَبِّحْ بِحَمْدِ رَبِّكَ حِينَ تَقُومُ. And be patient, O Muhammad, for the decision of your Lord, for indeed you are in our eyes, that is sight, and exalt Allah with praise of your Lord when you arise. And then the next two ayahs are from the end, towards the end of Surah Shu'ara. وَتَوَكَّلْ عَلَى الْعَزِيزِ الرَّحِيمِ الَّذِي يَرَاكَ حِينَ تَقُومُ. And rely upon the exalted in might, the merciful, who sees you when you arise. And so again, we see that this is very reassuring for the Prophet that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sees him and that he is watchful over him and taking care of him and protecting him. And then the next one is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's assurance to the Prophet of returning to Makkah. And so we know that the Prophet was born and raised in Makkah, and that Makkah was very beloved to him, as well as to the other Sahaba. And so when he was leaving Makkah, this saddened the Prophet. And so Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala assured him that inshallah he will return to Makkah. And so we see the first ayah is from towards the end of Surah Qasas. And so Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, إِنَّ الَّذِي فَرَضَ عَلَيْكَ الْقُرْآنَ لَرَادُوكَ إِلَى مَعَادٍ قُلْ رَبِّي أَعْلَمُ مَنْ جَاءَ بِالْهُدَى وَمَنْ هُوَ فِي ضَلَالٍ مُبِينٍ. Indeed, O Muhammad, he who imposed upon you the Quran will take you back to a place of return. Say, my Lord is most knowing of who brings guidance and who is in clear error. And so the place of return, the scholars differed upon the meaning of it. Some said it meant returning to Mecca, and some said that it refers to paradise. And some of the scholars said that it refers to both. And so, especially like they said that the fact that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala kept it indefinite means that it actually refers to both. And so we see Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reassuring the Prophet that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will return him to Mecca. And when we started the series, we talked about how the Prophet the being given the Quran, that it weighed upon him. And so we see in this ayah as well, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is linking the fact that the revelation of the Quran was the reason why he was driven out. And so Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the one who has farada alayka al-Quran, the Prophet who has given the Prophet the Quran. And so Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will return him to Makkah. And so this ayah was actually revealed during the hijrah of the Prophet, and the Quran is generally divided into Makki and Madni ayahs and surahs, where anything before the hijrah is considered Makki and anything after is considered Madni. And so this ayah is somewhat unique in that it was actually revealed during the hijrah. So it's in a sense neither of the two. And we also see in the beginning of Surah Qasas, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when talking about the story of Musa alayhi salam, he uses the same phrase Ra'duka for returning Musa alayhi salam to his mother. And so the scholars mention how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying that just how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala returned Musa alayhi salam to his mother, that similarly Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will return the Prophet to Makkah. And the next ayah is from Surah Isra. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَإِن كَادُوا لَيَسْتَفِزُّونَكَ مِنَ الْأَرْضِ لِيُخْرِجُوكَ مِنْهَا وَإِذًا لَا يَلْبَثُونَ خِلَافَكَ إِلَّا قَلِيلًا. Indeed, they were about to provoke, that is, drive you from the land, that is Mecca, to evict you therefrom. And then when they do, they will not remain there after you except for a little. And so we see the footnote only 10 years after the Prophet migrated to Mecca, Mecca was cleared completely of his enemies. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala refers to this in Surah Anfal as well. وَإِذْ يَمْكُرُ بِكَ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا لِيُثْبِتُوكَ أَوْ يَقْتُلُوكَ أَوْ يُخْرِجُوكَ وَيَمْكُرُونَ وَيَمْكُرُ اللَّهُ وَاللَّهُ خَيْرُ الْمَاكِرِينَ. And remember, O Muhammad, when those who disbelieve plotted against you to restrain you or kill you or evict you from Mecca, but they plan and Allah plans, and Allah is the best of planners. And then the next topic we see is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's assurance to the Prophet of help and victory. And so Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the beginning of Surah Fath, إِنَّا فَتَحْنَا لَكَ فَتْحًا مُبِينًا لِيَغْفِرَ لَكَ اللَّهُ مَا تَقَدَّمَ مِنْ ذَنبِكَ وَمَا تَأَخَّرَ وَيُتِمَّ نِعْمَتَهُ عَلَيْكَ وَيَهْدِكَ صِرَاطًا مُسْتَقِيمًا وَيَنْصُرَكَ اللَّهُ نَصْرًا عَزِيزًا. Indeed, we have given you, O Muhammad, a clear conquest, that Allah may forgive for you what preceded of your sin, that is errors, and what will follow, and complete His favor upon you and guide you to a straight path. And that Allah may aid you with a mighty victory. And again, we see in Surah Fath, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, لَقَدْ صَدَقَ اللَّهُ رَسُولَهُ الرُّؤْيَا بِالْحَقِّ لَتَدْخُلَنَّ الْمَسْجِدَ الْحَرَامَ إِنْ شَاءَ اللَّهُ آمِنِينَ مُحَلِّقِينَ رُؤُوسَكُمْ وَمُقَصِّرِينَ لَا تَخَافُونَ فَعَلِمَ مَا لَمْ تَعْلَمُوا فَجَعَلَ مِنْ دُونِ ذَلِكَ فَتْحًا قَرِيبًا. Certainly, has Allah showed to His Messenger the vision that is dream and truth. You will surely enter Al Masjid Al Haram, if Allah wills, in safety with your heads shaved and hair shortened, not fearing anyone. He knew what you did not know and has arranged before that a conquest near at hand. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in Surah Saf, هو الذي أرسل رسوله بالهدى ودين الحق ليظهره على الدين كله ولو كره المشركون. It is He who sent His messenger with guidance in the religion of truth to manifest it over all religion, although those who associate others with Allah dislike it. And so Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is showing how this deen is going to be لِيُظْهِرَ عَلَى الدِّينِ كُلِّهِ, that is going to be manifest over all other ways of life. And then we see in Surah Fath, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, إِذَا جَاءَ sorry, in Surah Nasr, إِذَا جَاءَ نَصْرُ اللَّهِ وَالْفَتْحُ, when the victory of Allah has come and the conquest. And then similarly, we see Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in Surah Tawbah saying, إِلَّا تَنْصُرُوهُ فَقَدْ نَصَرَهُ اللَّهُ إِذْ أَخْرَجَهُ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا ثَانِيَ اثْنَيْنِ إذ هما في الغار إذ يقول لصاحبه لا تحزن إن الله معنا فأنزل الله سكينته عليه وأيده بجنود لم تروها وجعل كلمة الذين كفروا السفلى وكلمة الله هي العليا والله عزيز حكيم. If you do not aid him, that is the Prophet ﷺ, Allah has already aided him when those who disbelieved had driven him out of Mecca as one of two. When they were in the cave, and he, that is the Prophet ﷺ, said to his companion, do not grieve, indeed Allah is with us. And Allah sent down His tranquility upon him and supported him with soldiers, that is angels, you did not see, and made the word of those who disbelieved the lowest, while the word of Allah, that is the highest. And Allah is exalted in might and wise. And similarly, we see Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in Surah Inshirah saying, فَإِنَّ مَعَ الْأُسْرِ يُسْرًا إِنَّ مَعَ الْأُسْرِ يُسْرًا. For indeed with hardship will be ease, that is relief. Indeed with hardship will be ease. And so Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is reassuring the Prophet that after all the difficulties that he's facing, that there will be ease. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك.